Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you guys doing? Alhamdulillah, man. Can you try to turn around your seats this direction? Everybody has their seats turned around? Thank you. Thank you. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. First off, we'll start with the homework that we had from last week. Does anybody remember what the homework was? What was the homework? To have a conversation with your parents, right? Or with your friends, it doesn't matter. Did anybody have any conversation with anybody? You did? You got two. You did have a conversation. Alhamdulillah. So a couple of you had conversations. So what did these conversations turn out to be? What did you guys talk about? Talked about Allah. Good. You talked about what? Islam. That's good. Did anybody talk about their goals or what they want to do? Or how they want to do things? Yes? Yeah?
I want to be a doctor.
You want to be a doctor? Inshallah, ameen. Inshallah. Nobody else? Talk about anything else? Busy week? Little bit? Little bit? That's okay. Little bit is good. It's better than nothing. That's okay. You still have a whole life ahead of you to think about these things. But just try to keep in the back of your mind. Inshallah. So to continue what we talked about last time, does anybody remember what we talked about? Which story we talked about last time? Just remember, the way we have it's a dialogue. So if you don't say anything, I'm going to point and you're going to tell me. Yes?
We talked about our goals in life. I know when you achieve your goal, you have to already have a goal set.
MashaAllah, that's great. So which family did we use as an example? You don't remember? Don't remember. Yes? Sayyidina Isa's family, Imran. What specifically did we talk about in Sayyidina Isa's family? Yeah.
How Mariam's mom wanted to have a baby boy or anything to protect Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And then Mariam came and it was a girl, and she still her goal was to protect Jerusalem. And they waited until she had a son, and Isa, and then protect him.
Good. Does anybody remember now what we talked about last week? Yes?
I remember that when he said the step thing, when you call and you go to school and here.
Yes. Everything that you need to do, you have to take steps to it. Nothing happens in magic. In order for you to do something, in order for you to go a place, what do you have to do? There are certain tasks to do. You have two things. One is the target, where you're going. Two, the steps that you're going to take towards it. Okay? So inshallah, what we're going to do today, we're going to continue the story of Imran. And we're going to specifically talk about Mariam, alayhi salam. Inshallah. Now before I start talking, I want to find out from you guys, what do you know about Mariam? Just what? This is the last time because you're the same one that's raising your hand. So hold on. Go ahead.
It's a name.
It's a name of who?
The mother.
Of the mother of who? Sayyidina Isa. Yes.
Her name is the worshiper.
The worshipper. Yes. What else? Anything else about Mariam? Very graceful woman. What else? Boys. Anything? I'm sure we've all heard about Mariam. So if you're telling me you don't know, that's a problem. So, anybody. Mariam. Don't look around, look at you. Anything about Mariam? The Virgin Mary. Do you know we know about that? She had Sayyidina Isa without having a husband. Right? What else do we know about Mariam? Girls. By the way, most of this talk today is about you girls, so I need more interaction. What else? Nothing?
Girl name mentioned the Quran.
MashaAllah, he hit the nail on the head. It's the only woman name mentioned in the Quran. Only. Not most. Only. Woman that's mentioned by name in the Quran. Does anybody know how many times the name is mentioned? I'm sure you don't know that, but I'll ask you another question. How many times do we make sujood every day?
17.
No, that's how many times you read the Fatiha. How many times do you make sujood today? In the day? 34. Her name is mentioned 34 times in the Quran. Now, what did you say her name means? No, your brother. What did worshiper? Is it a coincidence that her name is mentioned 34 times and we make sujood 34 times a day at least? Because she's a worshiper. That's who she is. That's what she did. Now that goes back to her grandmother, the goal that her grandmother wanted. What did her grandmother want? Yeah, anybody, by the way, anybody that has phones, put them on the table right now. Anybody that has phones, put them on the table. So the goal of the grandmother, I know you have a phone, put it on the table. Anybody that has a phone, put them on the table. So it's the grandmother, the goal of the grandmother. She picked up from that, and that's what she continued, right? So let's start again now from where we left off. We left off, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Mariam, she had Mariam, and let's talk about Mariam and how the Quran describes her. You mentioned one, that her name, she's the most, she's the only woman that's mentioned in the Quran, and she's mentioned 34 times, which is the time of sujood that we do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and remember we said last time, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى آدَمَ وَنُوحًا وَآلَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَآلَ عِمْرَانَ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. So we understood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has selected individuals and families, and she is among that family, right? And to the end of the ayat, and let's look at in Al-Imran through the following ayahs. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وإذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم إن الله اصطفاك وطهرك واصطفاك على نساء العالمين. The angel said, O Mariam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has selected you, and He has preferred you from all the women. Did you notice the first thing in this ayah? Does anybody notice anything in this ayah? Who's talking to whom? No. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ, and the angels said, Ya Mariam. Yes?
Those are talking to Mariam.
Angels are talking to Mariam. This is how high she reached. The angels are talking to her. From her worshiping, and we're going to go through it, going forward, from her worshiping, the angels are talking to her. إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has selected you, has preferred you, has picked you out. Ya Mariam. Oh Mariam. Now, first of all, you've been picked. By the way, everybody in this room has been picked as well. And we'll say why. You've been picked, and Allah selected you. The next, they said, Ya Mariam, اقنطي لربك واسجدي واركعي مع الراكعين. O Mariam, make qunut and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and make sujood and ruku'ah with the people that make ruku'ah. Now, what form of prayer is that? Ruku'ah and sujood. Who does that? Who? We just did it. Right? Guys, wake up. We do that. Now, the angels are saying this to Mariam. Was Mariam before or after Sayyidina Muhammad? Yusuf, من غير ما أبص بعيد. Was Mariam before or after Sayyidina Muhammad? Huh? That's okay. Mariam, was she before or after Sayyidina Muhammad?
Before.
Before. So how come the Malaika is telling her to do this? This form of worship. What does that say? Islam is not going to come. This shows that the form of worship, ruku and sujood, has been there. And before I came here, I did research on the Jews This is how they used to pray. Orthodox Jews, until this moment, that's how they pray. I saw a video about Coptic Christians in Egypt. That's how they pray. They make ruku' and sujood. Not just us. It's the same message, continuing. So hopefully we'll learn something new. ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك. This is from the past, because this was not in the time of the Prophet, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let him know. إذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم, again, angels are talking to Mariam. إن الله يبشرك بكلمة منه اسمه المسيح عيسى ابن مريم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you bad tidings that you're going to have someone that's going to come from you. يبشرك بعيسى ابن مريم. A son that's going to come to you. وجيها في الدنيا والآخرة, and he is going to be in a high esteem level in the dunya and in the hereafter. ويكلم الناس في المهد, and he speaks to people when he is a baby. وكهلا ومن الصالحين, and he's going to be among the righteous. So the angels are having a conversation with Mariam. Now, what did Mariam's mom do earlier when we talked about it in Al-Imran? Anybody? Please. What did she do? Mariam's mom. She prayed to Allah. What else did she do? She did what? She talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the mom talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rabbi inni wa and she having a conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Now, because her mom raised her this way, what did Mariam do? She continued the same path. Right? Now, what's the result of that? Yes?
Allah responded to Mariam's mom.
Allah responded to Mariam's mom. Right? 1. 2. She reached a level where the angels are talking to her. This is how high she got. And she was a young girl, by the way. She was young. So, being righteous and worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has nothing to do with age. Nothing. Sayyidina Ibrahim. Does anybody know the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim? And the idol worshippers? Yeah. What did Sayyidina Ibrahim do? You know how old he was? He was a fata. Fata. Like you guys. Not even like him. Younger. He's an old man to him. You're welcome. So he was a fatan. So it's you guys. Mariam is the same way. Worshipping Allah and getting close to Allah has nothing to do with age. It has to do with what you do. And we're going to go through and find out what you do. So now the angels are telling her, you're going to have a child. Her immediate response was, قالت ربي أن يكون لي ولد ولم يمسسني بشر. How am I going to have a child and no human has touched me? And I'm sure you all understand this. I don't need to explain this. But that's what she said. Yep, you understand it. So that's her response. How am I going to do that? قال كذلك الله يخلق ما يشاء. This is how Allah creates anything He wants. Anything He wants. Now, Sayyidina Isa is from that time until the Day of Judgment is going to still be a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? Why? Why? Why is he a miracle? The same group. Go ahead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him where? I'll take that thought. What else? Yes?
His mom is very,
Well, no. What else? Yes? He's going to come back. What else? What do you need to have a child? When do you need to have a child? Mom and dad. Right? Does he have a mom and dad? Only a mom. Right? Isn't that a miracle in itself? Do you want a bigger miracle? What about you just have a dad? You don't have a mom. Can that happen? If Allah wanted it. Where did Hawa come from? Where did Hawa come from? From Adam. So it was only male. And he had this. What about nothing? No male or female? Sayyidina Adam. Right? The only reason I'm saying this is to pick up on what Ibrahim was mentioning earlier. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala khaliq. He's the creator. Mariam and Isa is a testament for Allah khaliq till the day of judgment. Isa is going to come back here, right? So he's going to be a testament from that time all the way to the day of judgment. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the khaliq. He can create whatever, and that's what the angel said. كَذَلِكَ يَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah creates what He wants. Yes?
The people who died Christian before Islam came.
The what?
The people who died Christian before the Islam came. What's going to happen to them?
We can talk about this separately, but it's Islam, or a religion of worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since the time of all the prophets, is the same. The only time you switch from one to the other, or you continue to the new message, is when you have a new prophet. So until Prophet Muhammad is there, did they have another messenger? No. So if they're following Christianity, then yes. Once Sayyidina Muhammad comes, that's what it is. So I'll ask you a question. When you go buy a book, or buy a game, let's do this, buy a game. Which game are you going to buy?
The latest one.
The latest one. So what about the Quran? Isn't the Quran the latest version of Allah's message? That's what it is. You would have people to ask you, well, why don't you read the Bible? Well, why do I have to read the Bible? I've got the latest edition. Why would I have to go back to version 2? I already have the last version of the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't need to go back. That's exactly what it is. So if people were before that time, until Sayyidina Muhammad comes, there's nothing that they'll be judged for. They'll be judged on what they do. So now, in these previous ayats, I want one of you to summarize to me what I just talked about. Each one will just say 1 point. 1 point. What did I just say?
The angels talked to Mariam.
The angels talked to Mariam. What else? Next. Yeah.
She had a miracle with Sayyidina Isa.
So a miracle with Sayyidina Isa. Yes. She was favored by Allah.
Anything can happen if Allah wants to happen.
So what is it?
Anything can happen if Allah wants.
If Allah wants something to happen, it will happen. Not you. They will always be the chosen one. They will always be important. Sayyidina Isa will always be important. Okay? Adel. Huh? Tell me anything you've learned today. Let your dad tell you. Good job. And what did we do 34 times? You missed that part. Somebody else, what do you do 34 times? You make sujood at least. At least make sujood. What else?
Age doesn't matter.
Age doesn't matter. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to get to a certain level and to get to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? Huh? She reached the level what angels talk about. Yes. Sayyidina Isa talked when he was living, and subhanAllah, he's giving her, the angel are all letting her know what's going to happen. When you couldn't he is going to talk to, because picture this, we just had a baby. She's a year now. If she came out of my wife and she started talking, wouldn't that freak you out? I'm like, oh, wait. And babies don't talk. But subhanAllah, Allah gave her pre-warning. You know what that's similar to? That's training. When you do anything, there is training. In the Quran, you've got so many examples here. I'll give you one more example. Does anybody know the story of Sayyidina Musa? When he went to the cave and the stick and everything. What happened? What did he do with his stick when it put it on the floor? Yeah?
A snake.
It became a snake. Now, was he with people or was he alone?
The first time.
First time he was alone. What did he do? He ran away. You put your stick, you have a stick. You've got your car keys and suddenly it started moving. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna run away. It's human nature. It's a response. I was reading it this morning. It's part of the brain. When someone scares you, it's fight or flight. You have to respond back. It's not a matter of choice. So he ran away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't be scared. Stay. This is a test so you can see what happens. So when he goes in front of the Mala of Fir'aun, what happened? When he did it, he's fine. I already saw it happening. So that's, what do we learn from this? Yeah?
You've already seen it happen and you become normal with it.
You become normal. So what is it? What do you see happen? Yes? Warning, when you're training. When you train yourself for something, when you practice something, you become better at it. It's not going to scare you anymore. Right?